How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. If you've seen a lot of my videos, you might be trying to retire early already. This video is about what you can expect if you are somehow able to retire early. I quit my job in engineering about a year ago, so today I'm going to talk about my experiences being in this semi-retired state. If you're shooting for early retirement, it really does make sense to try to figure out what is actually going to happen if you actually reach that point. Most people that are retired will most likely tell you that it's really great and all, but there are pros and cons to this, and you should know both sides of the coin before, working many years to get to that finish line. But first, today's sponsor is Zerofire. This is their wireless earbuds. Are you still using wired earbuds? Because this is so 2013. Everybody's going wireless these days, and you really want to get caught using headphones and maybe kind of tie yourself up. And these wired headphones is a dangerous hazard because you might get yourself wrapped around your neck, you might choke yourself, the train might get caught onto this and kind of pull yourself away. Anyhow, you don't need any of that. With this Zerofire wireless earbuds, you can just pop them out like this. See, these are like two little jelly beans. Stick them in your ear, and once they're paired already, you just pop them in your ear and they connect really quickly. Each full charge of these things lasts 3 hours. This recharge case can recharge these guys 3 full times for a total of 12 hours of battery power. If you guys are interested in these wireless earbuds, check out the affiliate link down in the video description below. Now, I always have to talk about this semi-retired state because I personally am not completely retired. A lot of people like to mention that, you're not really retired or anything. You just kind of switched a high-paying engineering job for a low-paying thing because I'm doing YouTube. It's just kind of like getting paid anyway. So people like to argue that it's not really retiring. It certainly feels sort of like 75% there because I do have to do a little bit of work, including this video. I have to keep on making videos in order to get this small amount of income stream that I require in order to keep myself in this retired, semi-retired state. So I have to say, people like to really say bad things about, whenever I have a sponsor, it's like, oh, I'm not going to watch any of this. I'm going to skip all of it. The truth of the matter is, if I do not have these sponsors, it's going to negatively affect the small amount of income I do make from YouTube, and then I might not be able to make these videos at all. So do think of these sponsors as them helping me make these videos, or else they might not exist at all. So one of the more common questions I get in this semi-retired state is, don't you get bored? The answer is no. I actually have more things that I want to do than I have time for. Before quitting my job, I had a handful of things, but because of switching over to the semi-retired state, I was able to explore some of those things that I wanted to do. Each one of those things that you explore sort of satisfy your needs. However, after doing that, it sort of spreads. It's sort of like after you finish something, you kind of go, oh, great, I have this new skill, or, you learn something from it, and then you get these new bright ideas. And all of a sudden, just because you finish one thing that you want to do, all of a sudden, 3 things or 5 things pop up that you want to do in addition to that. Boredom for me is not an issue. There's just endless things. People like to say, oh, you're probably going out of your mind or something. You have too much time on your hands. It's not because I'm so bored, I have nothing else to do. So then I do the most boring things possible. And sometimes you see this on my videos. It's like people might go, oh my gosh, you have too much time on your hands, when that is like the phrase of killing creativity. What can I say? I hate that phrase, and a lot of people who are creative really hate that phrase as well. Another thing that you can expect when you retire is your stress levels goes way down. Is because, well, you don't have that many obligations. It's sort of like actively trying to suppress all these obligations. You're not getting all angry and stuff from road rage, going to work and stuff, and then your boss, makes you do certain things. You have all these deadlines and stuff. I certainly have, my deadlines, YouTube-wise. I have my deadlines, personal finance stuff-wise that I'm managing myself. But overall, it's more about reducing your total stress levels. You need to actively conquer all of this. If you have certain things that are stressing you out, you can just go and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to actively manage that and say, I'm going to cut it away from my life. If you know how to do this, you can certainly reduce your stress levels a lot, and, just doing that. It really helps your own health. Another thing I've tried to do myself in this semi-retired state is to always attack my to-do list very, very actively while you're too busy at your 9 to 5 job. A lot of times, if you have something that's a little bit more complex, let's say you anticipate it taking maybe an hour or two or something like that, you might put that off for like a week, a month, or 6 months, or maybe even a year, and you'll never see it get done. But like in my semi-retired state, whenever I have something come across like that, I'm like, you know what, I should do that now. So I might not even have it planned. For example, I needed to open up a self-employment retirement plan, really for tax reasons, so that I don't have to pay taxes on the stuff I contribute. So I need to investigate in which thing I need to open up and stuff. And that took me overall about 2-3 hours to do. But you know, I just thought about it one day, and then the next day I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do this right now, and you know, I just went and did it. Around in the Bay Area, everything just almost comes to a standstill during traffic hours. So, in order to save myself time, I just kind of go, you know what, I'm gonna work around that. I'm only gonna go shopping, you know, in this narrow range of about 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. or so. That's when there's like absolutely zero traffic. Basically, I shop during work hours, and even when I'm at the store, there's very, very little lines, and I save myself time that way. So, you know, just based on that, it's like a compounding effect. You save time, not waiting in line, you're not getting yourself stuck in traffic. You also reduce your stress level. So it's like a multi-fold thing here. Once you are retired, you don't need an alarm clock to wake up. You can just basically wake up anytime. Although if you're consistent, you probably end up waking up around the same time of the day. My personal wake up time fluctuate depending on if I have something really interesting I want to do the night before. If there's something really pressing, I might go, you know what, I'm just going to stay up a little bit longer. I'm going to do it. Or, you know, if I'm tired, I might sleep a little bit early. So then my wake up time, you know, might change a little bit. But the idea here is that you sleep until you get enough. Sometimes I would wake up and I'm like, oh, you know what, I need a few more hours. And, you know, it's just, you know, around the same time I wake up still. But then, you know, I don't really have any obligations. I don't have to get to work at a certain time. So I would be like, okay, I'm going to finish up until my body's rested. Then I'll wake up. Sometimes I might also take naps in the afternoon. If I feel really tired, I'll take a nap. I'll wake up energized, which is something that you cannot do while you're at work. So this is definitely a luxury and something that you can look forward to. The idea of sort of pushing yourself through the day while not getting enough sleep is like greatly minimized. You'll also notice that 3-day weekends, just this past Labor Day weekend, matters very little because every day is a 3-day weekend, really. I've had 3-day weekend weeks ever since I quit. In fact, it's not 3-day weekend. It's kind of like 7-day weekend, really, because it's like a continuous thing. On Sunday nights, I don't have a dreaded, you know, this Monday feels thing where, you know, oh my gosh, Monday's coming up. I don't have enough sleep and I still have to wake up in time. So you generally feel well rested. And you can imagine what this does for personal productivity. If you are always well rested, you have this, you know, this oomph about yourself where you can just kind of attack life with all the might that you have, feeling very, very well rested all the time so you can do things more effectively. For the past month and a half or so, I've been concentrating more on my health, mainly for elimination diet-wise, because this takes a really long time. I have to eat very strictly, and I have to wait a few days to see how my body reacts to it. So this takes significant time, and without being retired, I would not be able to do this as effectively because you know, I might have to bring certain foods to work. You know, it'll just get a lot harder versus doing all this elimination diet thing at home. Now, what about personal life? I have to mention that there are cons to this because being retired, I noticed that there are very strange things happening because I get so much more time and I am doing so much research into every single little topic there is, including food, including health, which has shaped my view on the world, as you can see from the previous few videos, that when I look at things these days, my perspective has changed a lot more than before. Before entering retirement, I sort of have this, you know, very frugal mind. You know, whenever I go into a store, it's kind of hard for me to buy things because I always think, oh yeah, you know, this will kill you. This type of food is not good. You know, this thing is not worth it. So, you know, before it was like that. These days it's even more so. For example, I was at a liquor store the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, all this stuff that they sell in it is basically nothing I can buy, nothing I would want even. They were selling cigarettes, they were selling lottery tickets, they were selling liquor, and basically a lot of chips, gum, candy, and all these things. I look at all those things and I'm like, wow, there's nothing I can buy. And possibly if they were saying, oh, you can have 2 free items, any person that walks in there can have 2 free things, I might just walk in there and go, you know what, there's nothing I actually want, and I will not walk out in there even if they try to give it to me for free. Same thing with fast food. If they have some fast food day where they're giving out a free burger, maybe if I'm only 1 block away, I still won't drive there to get a free burger. So this is how sort of twisted and strange that I feel like I've become, and sort of a bit more detached from normal people. Can I say normal people here? Because just sort of like getting more and more out of touch with common people, I guess. Like, I hate to say common people because I'm not all that special myself. I just feel like I am sort of becoming more and more weird in terms of the things that I would actually buy and eat. And because of that, going out to normal stores has become sort of like a challenge versus other people where, you know, they can go out, have a nice ice cream cone, I guess, you know, enjoy the regular pleasures of the world where people, normal people, can just go out there, you know, eat at a bunch of different restaurants, you know, go see a movie or something. You know, when I go out, I have this whole different perspective about it, which I feel like is a result of becoming retired and me doing all this research. So I don't know if this is repeatable for a lot of people who retires early. This is certainly something to watch out for. It's sort of like once you get yourself into it, you can't go back because, you know, when I look at various products in the store, it's sort of like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to put that in my mouth, or there's no way I'm gonna buy that because it's so not worth it. It's just kind of like wasting money. It's kind of burning money. The last thing is certainly something you really want to consider before you actually take the plunge. So thanks for watching again. If you guys are interested in this Zerofire product, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below if you're interested in supporting this channel. And don't forget to push that subscribe button and ring that bell icon. Thanks for watching.